Hi, welcome to our Ed Talks, little snippets of education to help you heal and feel empowered. Hi, I'm Justine Calderwood, pelvic floor physical therapist and birth recovery specialist. Today I'm answering this. Help, I've had a C-section and I want to prevent adhesions. What can I do and when? This is a great question. I see a lot of moms that have had C-section births, and I'd like to give you 3 little tips today, things to work on your C-section scar so that you can have more mobility, so you can be feeling better now, but also prevent some of those adhesions into the future by getting this area moving better. First, what I want to say is you want to wait at least 8 weeks, ideally 8 to 12 weeks after your birth, after your C-section birth, in order to start some of these, because we want to allow the tissues to heal, and we actually want them to get a little tight, I will say, because we don't want to disrupt that healing process. So we don't want to start this too soon. Okay, so I'm going to give you these 3 tips. The first tip I want to give you is this. So you can lie down, and what you're going to do is just expose your C-section scar so that you can see it, and you're going to be feeling it, basically. I don't have a C-section scar, so I just wrote one on me. Typically, they're horizontal, really close to the pubic bone, across that lower abdomen. Okay, so what you can do from here, tip number 1, is to actually do a massage. So if you're going to go along the C-section scar here, first I would take your fingertips and just kind of assess to see where some tightness might be. So imagine that you're just pushing almost like onto a trampoline, and you're feeling along that scar for mobility. So how springy is it in on one side versus the other? Check to see, are there any raised areas? Is there any, say, tenderness, pain with any, as you touch that along the scar? From there, what you can do, just take a note, okay, so you can tell over time if things are improving. What you can do then is you can just kind of massage along here. You can do this with a little bit of, say, coconut oil or even vitamin D. If you open up like vitamin D capsules, you can help there. So you can go around in little circles. Okay. I don't have any, oil or cream or anything on my fingers right now, but you can get the idea. Just little circles here in clockwise and counterclockwise directions. You can also work, just vertical up and down and kind of side to side. So I'm going over this kind of fast, but I would do in different directions, even diagonal, so that those tissues get comfortable and get used to being in any sort of direction. Okay, tip number 2 is actually doing more of a myofascial release. So from here, what I would do, now this can be started maybe a little bit earlier than 8 to 12 weeks, as long as you're not doing it directly on the scar. So you can even start up here into the diaphragm. I'm going to show you up here. So if you were to start a little earlier, you can even just do some lifting, some myofascial release, some fascial lifting. I'm just pulling up my skin, and I'm just kind of working my way down that rib cage. I can start on this other side, and I'm just lifting up and just seeing where am I tight. You can compare side to side, okay? And also do just a little bit of springiness here, okay? When you find some tight areas, you can just simply lift up, grab a hold either with just your fingers lifting, okay? Or you can use your hand, okay? From here, you can even check mobility. So when I pull up, I move really well, but when I pull down, not as well, which tells me I'm tight over here. You do the same thing left to right. I don't move as well going in to my left as I do going out to my right. This can also be done after that 8 to 12 weeks, as long as you have that C-section scars closed down. Maybe even check with your provider to make sure that it's safe for you to do this, okay? But what you can do then is work along the scar as well, okay, where you're just doing a little bit of pinching and pulling up and checking mobility. So I'm a little bit tighter as I move over here to my hip. I can lift up and work. Now I'm kind of pulling very gently. It's releasing down here, okay? So when you do a myofascial release, don't get in a hurry. So ideally we want to pull up and just to the very end. We're not trying to force it. We're just pulling until the body pulls back against us, And if I start to do a little lift up towards my head, I'm just taking up the slack down low here. And that's where I wait and I hold 3 to 5 minutes in any given spot and then move to the next spot. So it can take you some time to work all the way along the C-section scar. If you're holding 5 minutes in each spot, maybe you only have enough time to do 10 minutes worth, okay? But if you do this on a daily basis, you're going to start to make some improvements. The third tip I have for you is to do some low pressure fitness. So that's just a form of exercise that we've gone over here at the Healing Spot. I'll give you some resources to get started, but I just want to show you that it's a great form of exercise to get these fascial tissues, basically just the connective tissue, to move a little bit better, not only down low into that really the pelvic floor, the transverse abdominis muscles here, as well as the diaphragm underneath that rib cage and the little back muscles. So I'm going to show you just what that looks like and how that starts to lift up and come up into the rib cage. So I'm just going to show you an abdominal vacuum right here. So I'm going to inhale, watch my rib cage. I'm going to exhale out, and I'm going to do a vacuum. I inhale in and exhale out. So what I'm doing is holding my breath. When you see my rib cage open, I'm actually holding my breath and I'm creating this suction effect. So that gets those fascial tissues to actually move. It's more of a movement or a way of getting the myofascial release more in a movement. So let me show you one more time. Inhaling here, exhaling out, holding my breath. And exhaling. There you have it, 3 easy tips to get started with helping your C-section scar be more mobile and prevent adhesions. Remember, this is not the only thing that you can be doing, but I wanted to give you some good wins today. If you'd like a little bit more when it comes to low pressure fitness and getting moving and helping your connective tissue and muscles move better, head to our website or use the link below and check out our free core challenge. We'll go over in more depth on how to do low pressure fitness to get that core engaged. Think about how those muscles have been cut through, the uterus and the abdominal muscles have been cut through with your C-section. So if you want to get those muscles moving better in a very safe way for you, head to our core challenge and get that now. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm happy to be your guide and help you on this journey. Stay tuned for more Ed Talks.